as promised, here's the layout and sort of a little walk around of our cruiser before we head out to do the eco trail. Please bear with me, this is going to be a video predominantly of me just talking, walking around and kind of pointing at stuff. I'm not going to set up a tripod and try and make it look all pretty. It's literally done here in the driveway because every great adventure starts from home. And what we'll do is I'll point out a few things on the vehicle and then just essentially what we've packed kind of for this sort of trip. If you guys do have questions, just drop a comment and I'll see how well I can respond to it. So I figure the right place to start would pretty much be in the front. I mean, you've all would have seen the ARB bull bar, the ARB intensity version 2 spotlights. We've got some hella lights there as well as upgraded LED fog lights. That's the underneath. We are running the Maxxi's Mining Edition Razor mud terrain tires in a 265 7017 with Old Man Emu suspension. Our rock sliders, hey my boy, how are you? How was your day? Lekker. Sorry. Say hello, Alex.
Hello.
Sorry. Anyway, so these are the wannabe clear view mirrors. We got these from, I think it was Cruiser stuff that the Bully had fitted. They're quite nice. They extend. They are indicator ready. They are wired and they do work. They've taken a bit of a beating. In the rear, 600 kilo constant load with airbags. It is a stainless steel 76mm free flow custom exhaust. Coming around the back, just a random Toyota bumper that we fitted. This my brother made for the Bully. Essentially it is just easier for him to, if you would imagine, grab here, step here, up into his Alucab Canopy camper. The Canopy camper is a rooftop tent, so you'll see once it's open, these lift up and then there's the bed. Or you can lift up both partitions and have full standing space inside here as well. Obviously, at the moment, it looks quite upside down, to be honest with you. And that's because this vehicle is made for a couple, not made for friends or a father and son. Like me and my old man don't share a bed, so I need to have all my own bedding, which is in this balsac. I need to have my mattresses, which are there above the deep freeze, and this is how we transport it. It's up out the way. We do not need to get into the deep freeze during the day. It's purely take out our meals for the day into the fridge and it stays closed. As well as that then is my stretcher, which is what I put my swag onto, so I don't need to sleep on the ground. Where we're going, I'm not 100% sure whether the ground is going to be, you know, the KZN grass that I'm used to, or some soft beach sand. It could be rocks and rubble and rather uncomfortable, so I keep myself off the ground so I can guarantee a decent night's sleep. Okay, storage. If I have to go through each and every little nook and cranny in this particular vehicle, we're going to be here for a long time. But for argument's sake, you can see shower stuff, washing up stuff. There is a tarpaulin, a wash line and a lighter. Basic, you know, your day-to-day camp stuff is left here, super easily accessible, exactly here where you need it to be. He's got another multi-tool, Leatherman Raptor scissors, extra scissors here. So it's pretty quick to get to. It's a 200 amp hour battery. We are currently on the smart charger, keeping everything topped up because there's no sun here at the moment. It is light but no sunshine. 3 kilo gas bottle. Our provisions in terms of what we taking or what we're packing, I'm trying to combine two words here. This is essentially where we keep our cold drinks, our waters, our milk, anything in tins. So stuff like that. And as we use, while we can get more stuff from the shops as we go past different towns, we will then replenish. But once we hit sort of Pofadder, that's going to be the end of our replenishment. So we'll be on our own up until we get to Alexander Bay. Now there is apparently a restaurant and a very small sort of shop at I think it's called Fuelsdrift, which is at the halfway mark of the trip, where we can do our best to see what we can resupply on. Probably a couple of cold drinks, maybe some water, firewood, charcoal, etc. But by far and large, as you've seen, we are preparing to be able to be completely self-sufficient. So that is a 80-litre deep freeze. We have loads of pre-cooked meals, loads of convenient stuff in there, some of our meat and bits and pieces. We'll go through the cooking in that when I do the trail videos and I release the series of Eco Trail and our approach and departure from there, and then you guys can see how we pack. So again, the old man's clothing and warm stuff and spare blankets are in here. Essentially it looks kind of like that. He is very old school. There's not much, you know, it's not pretty, and it's parat, it's stuck in there. He knows what he's got, and that's how it goes. I don't have packing space in here, it's not my rig, so all my clothes for the 2-week trip are in my North Face bag. Then our front runner chairs are there. The back side of the Flex CF65, the upright fridge, we've installed a little fan system here. Unfortunately this whole thing ripped out earlier today. I haven't fixed it yet, but this is a ventilation system that forces air through there and out the other side, so it keeps the compressor cool in an enclosed environment. We've got more storage all over here, and then obviously this is our pantry in these 2 drawers. So in this drawer here there is, let me just move the old man's slops, some tin stuff, a couple of other things. There's our flour for our bread with our yeast, some condiments, very basic. We don't eat fancy food really when we travel, just the old man and I. And then the top drawer, quick look, that's the naughty drawer, so we don't talk about that. Right, so that is essentially the rear of the vehicle. There is more storage along that side of the fridge where there's stuff that's not needed so often, water filtration kits, first aid kits. There's a couple of the old man's toiletry things in there, just random stuff. I'll pop that back over here for now, like that. As I said, as the battery setup, that gets closed up by this. Our toilet is here. We've got a bra and some cooking and some pots and whatnot down the side there as well. While we travel, this will go in here, get strapped against the fridge, and then we have 2 bags of wood that just lie here on the floor. In terms of the kitchen side of things, this is the fridge, the CF65 upright fridge. Okay, so there's a little deep freeze compartment, that's where the ice goes. Ice is very important, some cold drinks, a little bit of meat. The old man really enjoys his chocolate. And then our fresh stuff stays in the fridge. More storage up here, some toilet paper. This is where we keep extra cans, so as it gets used you rotate continuously. That's the stove, our veggies. Essentially everything that's in the kitchen that we require sort of stays in here. This is a stainless steel table, so once the canopy door is closed, this closes over the door, and when we stop, you've always got a work surface. There's a Alucab 270-degree awning there, a little spade, 310 watt solar panel on the roof. My tent is a RS1 by Oztent, so it is their version of a swag. And then we've also got the 2 tanks on the roof at the moment. Those don't stay there, it's only for very long trips where you need to be able to support yourself entirely further than what the range of the tank in the vehicle can give us. So there's an extra 60 litres of diesel, and we got 60 litres of showering water there. Again, when I do drop the actual eco trail videos, you'll see how we set up the shower, how we refill the diesel, how all that works. Coming into the back of the vehicle, this is how we run it when it's just us. We just carry, this is emergency water. It takes up a huge amount of space, but shit, I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. And yeah, so on top here still has to go my camera bag, and then on top of my ammo boxes goes my EDC backpack. There is storage on the rear window, a couple of jackets here. My power setup this trip is pretty straightforward. It's just an EcoFlow River 2 Max, so that'll allow me to charge my phone at night. It'll allow me to charge up all my headlamps and things like that, as well as offer me a little bit of 220 in my tent. With us running 3 fridges, there is a center console fridge here as well, an 80 litre deep freeze, and then the flex, so it's a deep freeze and 2 fridges. That is going to put some strain on the 200 amp hour battery. My dad will very likely use the inverter at night to run his electric blanket, because we are expecting very cold temperatures, and again that is going to put a lot of strain on the battery. A 300 amp hour is better. We don't have one in here yet, so I've brought some supplementary power in terms of the EcoFlow. What you're seeing here is essentially the power setup. We do have a 12 volt oven in here. I want to show you guys. Check out this box I got from George from Trans-Africa. That is his stainless steel oven, which if you're interested you'll see a lot more of when we do the Eco Trail trip itself. Essentially it is a welded up stainless steel box. It does not leak. It's completely enclosed with a lovely big lid, and this becomes the best roasting dish for this oven. Right, so I now need, I was going to say I almost needed 2 hands to close the bloody thing. Anyway, that's really cool. You can order it off of his website. Spares, tools, emergency equipment. We do put some of our pots and stuff in here because that's just the space available. This is the dirty laundry bags in there. Recovery equipment is underneath. We try and keep this as quick and easily as accessible as possible, so it's literally just rip it out and it comes out. Indeflates, spare shoes. In this bag is sides for this here. This slides out and becomes a shower cubicle. We have a hose, and again when we're on Eco Trail and I release those videos, this is how we attach our grey water tank to the hose and set up our shower area. In terms of power, it's a 1200 watt Victron inverter, 30 amp MPPT, 30 amp DC charger, and then we have access to 15 amps if there's short power. We've got a 50 amp rated little Anderson plug chilling there in case we need to plug anything in or pull power out to a compressor. Our compressor is mounted inside here. Underneath it is an ALB compressor as well. On this side we have a much longer spade. This spade is about 1.5 meters in length, and we've also got max tracks, 2 of them. This carrier is really handy and it's easy to use, but cheap as if you don't put a cable tie on the dirt road, it makes more noise than you can ever imagine. Spare wheel carrier for where we're going is really important to have something like this, because the correct way of doing a trip like this is to take out what you take in. There is no waste facility on the Eco Trail. You can't leave a black bag at camp and think someone's going to come and collect it. It's not going to happen. So whatever you use and need to discard, you need to be able to throw away. So we had this here made. This was made by a guy called Nelson from The Wild Canvas and Safari Tents in Springfield Park, KZN. We purposefully made it to fit around the plastic dustbin, so it maintains its shape. And it also allows us to slide a bin bag inside here and just tie that up, and it's sort of better than just throwing your rubbish inside a sleeve and having this ugly wet nappy look hanging from the back of your spare wheel. We've got the cliched bra grid pockets We've got these for tongs and for different braaiing implements, fire lighters and bits and pieces like that. So there's our fire lighters. That's how our rear spare wheel carrier will be set up. In terms of showering, quick and fast, there's my ground sheet inside here. But yeah, there's a 20-litre stainless steel bucket which will heat up directly on the fire, and then we're able to run our shower system out of that bucket as long as we are close to the river. If we have to deviate from the river, then we will obviously be a little bit more frugal with our ablutions, and we won't just take those nice long hot showers. We'll have a 60-litre tank to keep us going until we get to the river again where we can refill. Coming to the inside of the front, again pretty basic. That's where our drinks go, and yeah, that's essentially it. This is quick access tools and things like that, so should we need to do some fine tuning, the roads aren't great, we keep very basic stuff here. So as an example, this is set up, the most common thing to come loose in a vehicle like this is spotlights, and then these. So they are already marked, so it's a quick reference to check if after a couple of 100 k's on the dirt they are losing their tension, because it's just a single lock nut, nylock on top here. We have already got the correct tools to go on there, as well as on the spotlights. So simple silly stuff like that we keep close at hand just to try and make life a bit easier. And then yeah, we've got the normal roof console. There's a Madman engine monitoring system. There's a scan gauge here in front as well, plugged in. Casco radio. We've got an always on live reverse camera system, so that replaces the rear view mirror, which we lose because of the Canopy camper. There's a Hikvision dash cam as well as a TPMS system in the front there. Okay, coming to the area behind my seat, quick and fast. Shoes, extra pillow, couple of snacks. This is an emergency sort of survival kit that I always keep with me. Again, not my vehicle, so I need to be able to have all my stuff should I need anything. That makes me happy and keeps me comfy. So to be brutally honest with you, this top ammo box has just got bits and pieces in, a couple of extra cables, my night visions in here, I've got a jet boil in here, random stuff like that I'd rather have in here and have this like 2/3 full than have it floating around getting damaged. Underneath, I didn't want to run another bag. I like the idea of an ammo box, so inside here is a lot of my warm clothes. There's 2 tracksuit pants in there, there's like a hoodie, and then my towels and stuff like that. My toiletry bag, there's my hammy chair. If we stop and I want to chill outside the car, that takes very quick to set up and take out and sort of pack up if I need to get going again. First aid kit behind the seat. Our Tracks for Africa maps as well as all the Eco Trail maps are here. And that is pretty much it. Now, I understand that in terms of the aesthetics and how it looks, there's far more cool and interesting looking vehicles out there on YouTube. However, this vehicle travels. I've done about 3 or 4 big trips with my dad in the last few years. Some of the biggest trips we've done with this vehicle would be like Skeleton Coast and then across through the Marienfluss Desert. We've also then done another trip where we did the entire eastern side of Namibia, Kodum, up through Caprivi, along the Okavango River, and then down through Botswana again. We've done several Mozambique trips, all the way up past Inhasoro towards BD Point. So, I mean, the vehicle might not be an Instagram show model. I think it looks gorgeous, but it is super practical. We have a auxiliary diesel filter, we have spare air filters, we've got spare hoses, spare belts. It's a Toyota. I mean, that speaks for itself. They're not indestructible, but at least when they do break, being essentially a farming implement, they're pretty straightforward to fix. You're going to be seeing a lot more of this sort of stuff as we do our trip. I hope this gave you some sort of indication of how we've packed the vehicle and how it's been set up. A couple of specs to run through: 135 litre onboard diesel. We have 55 litres of water on board. We have compressor, dual battery system, solar, DC-DC charging. We've got food, water, cold drinks. We're sort of well provisioned. We are additionally carrying 60 litres of water on the roof, additionally carrying 60 litres of diesel on the roof. Please stay tuned for when we start doing the eco trail stuff. We do leave tomorrow. I've really rushed to get this video out, so it's probably going to be upside down, inside out, like jumping all over the place. I'm not good at this, guys, I have told you before, but I am trying. And from tomorrow we'll be on the road, so if you do follow me on Instagram or Facebook, keep an eye out. I will be doing posts and stories of our trip up to Ograbis, of what we see there, and then from Ograbis essentially to Eco Trail. We did receive an email, sad news. Eco Trail has been quite badly damaged. It is extreme 4x4 according to the email. I'll try and pop it up here and show you. So a couple of the campsites, I think it's called Hartebeesmond, Ramansdrift, Groot Melkhoutboom, Kamgab, they closed. They're inaccessible at the moment. And as Murphy would have it, those are the campsites, at least out of that 4, we've booked 3 of them. Doesn't matter. The good news is, essentially in that email, I've interpreted it as that we've been told to camp wherever we like. So yay, we'll do what we want. We're going to have a look at what campsites we can reach. What we can't reach, we won't be able to put in the video, unfortunately. And then terribly so, the Richtersveld campsites, they've also warned us, are extreme 4x4 only at the moment. Especially we were going to go to the caves. So we'll see, guys. This could be a win, could be a loss, but we're going to go. We don't have a lot of opportunities like this, and we've tried to do this trip for 2 years now. So please keep a lookout on social media. Hopefully we can get you guys some cool content. Cheers.